Musiciangoods.com.
What is good, everybody? Welcome back to the Musician Goods YouTube channel. I'm going to be your host for today's video, and today I'm going to give you some simple tips and tricks, some advice for a lot of you beginners out there that are trying to gain followers, that are trying to reach people, that are trying to build a fan base for themselves, and are trying to market themselves to their audience. All right, I get a lot of questions on people like, how do I get more followers? How do I get my music to get more exposure? And I'm going to give you some simple advice, some simple tips and tricks to reach more people and to start your career off on the right foot. All right, so if you're a beginner artist, a beginner singer, producer, songwriter, DJ, or even something outside of music, these tips and tricks can help you to start off on the right foot and to reach people more quickly and also reach your goals more quickly. All right, so without further ado, let's get in the first tip. So the first tip I got for you is to find a unique selling point. So what is a unique selling point? A unique selling point is something that makes you unique. All right, you got to realize that there's millions and millions of people out there that are doing exactly the same thing that you're doing. All right, so what you got to do is find a way to be unique, find a way to have something that no one else has, so therefore people are going to recognize you more easily. All right, but you shouldn't just be unique, you should also have something that is interesting at the same time. So you got to find something that's unique and interesting at the same time. To give you an example, Tekashi 6ix9ine, who I think we all know by now. All right, this guy has like the craziest haircut I've ever seen in my life. But the good thing about the haircut is that it makes him more recognizable. And I think the reason he got so famous and so popular is partly because of his hairstyle. All right, because when you see his hairstyle, you're not gonna forget that hairstyle easily. All right, because it's absolutely crazy hairstyle. It's like this long hair, rainbow colored. It looks like a gothic turned into like a rainbow hippie, some type of shit like that. It's crazy, but it does help him to be more recognizable. So that's kind of his unique selling point. It's what makes him stand out from the rest of the crowd. All right, but I'm not saying you should go to the barber and get some crazy hairstyle. Okay, please don't do anything like that. What I'm actually trying to say is find something that makes you stand out from the rest of the people that are trying to do the same thing as you are. All right, so it can be a hairstyle, it can be a certain type of hat that you always wear. All right, it can be the way you talk, it could be the way you create music. Whatever it is, make sure it's recognizable, make sure it's unique, and make sure that it's interesting for people to look at. All right, so tip number one is find something that makes you unique. Find a unique selling point. So let's go to tip number two. Tip number two is to be present in the online environment. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is you got to make sure that you're making use of social media. Have an Instagram page, have a Facebook fan page, have a TikTok account, have Snapchat. Make sure that you use all these social media channels that are out there right now. All these different platforms are ways to reach people. All right, are ways to build an audience, to build yourself up as a brand, because you are a brand. As a musician, you're also a brand. Okay, so you got to make sure that your brand is on every social media outlet that's available to you. Okay, and next to that, you also have to have a website. Okay, because it's like a business. If you start a business, what's the first thing that you're gonna want to do? You want to have a website. You want to make sure that people can find you on the internet, that people can read your story. All right, and that's actually the next thing that I'm going to talk about. Have a compelling biography. If you cannot write a biography yourself, get someone who can write it for you. Okay, get a nice biography for yourself on your website so people can find out who you are, how you got into music, where you come from, what inspired you, because people want to look up these things because they're going to be your fans, and fans are going to search for these things. So make sure you have a website. All right, And yeah, that's basically it. You got to make sure that you're actively on social media. You're actively posting every day. It could be a picture of your cat. It could be a picture of you in the studio. It could be a picture of you writing lyrics. Whatever it is, you got to make sure you have content, you have visuals to share with your fan base or your potential fan base, your followers. All right. You got to make sure you're actively out there using every channel that's out there for you to use. All right. So be active on social media, have a website, have a biography, make sure you have all these things and be as present as you possibly can in the online environment, because nowadays everything is online. All right. Everything is on the internet. So make sure that you are also on the internet. The next one is you got to change your approach. I see a lot of people out here, they're making music, but they only release music every once in a while and they're just kind of laying back. They think everything is gonna fall into the right place for them eventually, and by some miracle they're gonna be signed to a major label and they're gonna be very successful, but they're not actually actively putting the work in. Okay, so what you got to do, if you're making music, if you're a singer, if you're a rapper, you got to work on your craft every single day. Okay, if you rap, you gotta write lyrics every single day. If you produce, you gotta be working on beats every single day. You gotta put out beat tapes. You gotta post stuff. You gotta make sure that you're working on your craft every single day. This is going to help you grow, because the more you work on music, the more you learn, the more experience you gain. And even if the music you create sucks, it really doesn't matter, because you're going to have to get through that. You don't start off being the best in the world. Okay. You're going to start off with music that sucks. And this goes for every artist out there, from Timbaland to Kanye West to whoever you want to, name them. They all had to start off at the beginning. Okay. They might have been talented at first, but still, you have to work on your craft. You have to get better. You have to grow. You have to experience things. So you should approach it as a 9-to-5 job, okay? Because this is what you want to do for a living, right? So you better approach it as if it's a job. You got to approach it as if it's a 9-to-5. You got to be out there every day working, writing lyrics, making beats, work on your craft, get better, and, it's gonna give you some material as well to share with your followers on social media. You can, make snapshots and, post them on social media so people can see that you're actually actively working. You can give them a look behind the scenes, of you in the studio, and it's gonna make people realize that you're actually out there grinding, because that's what people also want to see. Especially if you have a lot of fans, if you have a fan base, they want to know, that there's something coming soon. There's a new project coming out. There's a new song dropping soon, so you can share visuals with your fan base and you're gaining experience at the same time. All right, so this is a good thing to do, definitely. So my next piece of advice is to network as much as possible. All right, especially in the music business, you're gonna want to have to make many friends. You have to know a lot of people, especially if you want to make it big. You got to get in touch with the right people. So you got to go out to the studios and book a session and try to meet people, that can get you to the next level. All right. If you're a DJ, you want to go to the clubs and you want to meet the managers and the party promoters and all those people that can get you to the next level. All right. So networking is really important, because you meet new people. And, you get an opportunity every once in a while. You might get a major opportunity. You never know. You never know. The person that you meet might be someone who can get you to, a higher level. So you should network as much as possible. Get your name out there. You can create business cards. And this might sound old school. This might sound like, you might think no one's going to use a business card in these days anymore. Like, everyone's on the internet. But still, having a business card is never a bad thing. It's always a good thing, actually, because you might be at an event and you meet someone, you just give them your business card. They see your information, they can look you up, but it's also going to give them a certain impression, because they see that you have a business card. So you must be serious about what you're doing, right? So it never hurts to get business cards, to network with other people and, get to know as much people as possible that can help you to get to the next level. Okay. All right. So my next tip is to get a professional logo. Okay, I see a lot of people out there with really shitty logos that they probably created themselves or they stole from Pinterest or Google or whatever. What you need to do is you gotta find a graphics designer, a professional graphics designer that can create a really nice, sexy looking logo for your brand. Okay, because remember, you are a brand. As an artist, as a musician, you are also a brand. And what a logo does, it represents you visually. It's a symbol that represents you. So it has to be a logo that makes sense. All right, it has to be a logo that fits your personality or that fits your, musical vibe. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, it has to be something that fits with the person that you are. All right, so you need to go out, find a graphics designer and get some nice visuals done. All right, get a logo, get a certain style for every visual that you post on the internet. Get a color scheme, get a certain type of font for the text, that whatever graphics you put out on the internet. Make sure you have a style guide, something recognizable, and the logo is the first thing you want to get. All right, so get out there, find a graphics designer, get a professional looking logo that you can use in your online presence. So my final tip for you guys is to be authentic. Now, what do I mean by being authentic? Being authentic basically means that you're being you. Okay, you got to make sure that you stay true to who you are, and don't let yourself get distracted by things that are popular or things that everyone else is doing, because if you follow what everyone else is doing, you're not going to stand out. Again, you need to stand out. So be authentic, be yourself, be real. Okay, whether it is the way that you create music, the type of music you create, or whatever you put out on social media, make sure that it has this signature thing that only you can produce, because this is going to make you stand out from the rest. This is going to make you different, and this is going to make you more interesting to the people that are actually searching for you and trying to find new music. And every major artist, every major producer, they all have something in common, and that is they're all authentic. Okay, if you look at a Dr. Dre, for example, or a Kanye West or a Scott Storch, all these producers have their own styles, and this is why people recognize them. This is what makes them authentic. It's because they have their own sound. All right, and even when music changes, especially in hip-hop music nowadays, like the sound is kind of changed compared to the 90s and the early 2000s. The sound now is kind of different compared to back then, but you can still have your own signature and make it sound like something that will fit in this era. Okay, but never lose your own touch, never lose your signature. Make sure that what you're doing is real, what you're doing comes from you. All right, don't get distracted by all these trendy things and all these popularity things. Be yourself. All right, that's the only way you're going to create something that lasts as well, because if you just do what everyone else is doing, people are not going to remember you, because there's a million other people that did the same thing as you. So you got to do something that only you can do. You got to be authentic. And also, when it comes to making music, you might think that the music that you're good at is not really as popular as whatever's trendy right now, but that doesn't mean you should do what's trendy. You should actually stick to what you're doing and find a way to make it more attractive to the people that are following the trends. All right, but make sure you keep your own signature at all times. So those were the tips that I had listed out for you guys today. Hopefully it's going to help a lot of you people out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram at Musiciangoods, on Twitter, on Facebook, and check out the store musiciangoods.com, of course, for merchandise and all kinds of cool stuff that we got in the store right now. We also got a bunch of new products coming soon, so make sure you stay tuned. You can also subscribe to our newsletter on the website at the bottom of the page to stay updated with the latest videos, the latest content, the latest products that we're dropping. And you can follow me as well. I'll put my information in the description box. Thank you all for watching, guys, and we'll see you back next week with the next video. Have a good day or a good night or a good morning, whatever you're at. Thank you for watching.